Susan on the backside. But it's meant to be used in Temple Beth. Sorry?
it's helpful for you to put it up a little bit higher, there's also you can put on that. Yeah, just very comfortable.
I think they're all around. I think they're in there.
The white cloths, I don't know, they're not in great shape. So we're not like the white cloths? No. But we changed 10, so yeah, we're doing, Cheryl put 10 in.
What,
Not for me now, because he's about to play.
No, I meant later.
For us later we'll do that, but it's not later.
Right. I just meant, right. You'll be standing there.
Correct. I'll put it vertically. Yes? That's a good question. Shana Tova, everybody. Now, you already knew that you're getting the reward for having arrived early of getting the seat that you wanted, right? Even if the seat you wanted is way back there. And that's wonderful. I respect whatever your choice is. It's good to see you. But we have another treat as well, which is that Sean Lyons, who is a good friend and co-musicianist with our own Jenny Asher, has joined us to do something that we do about every other year, which is to preview and prelude our own Kol Nidrei with Kol Nidrei, the setting by Bruch on viola. So without further ado, Sean is going to help us set the mood for this new season. And of course, the viola will go away when it's time for us to sing Kol Nidrei together and enter this Yom Kippur. Sean, thank you for being here.
As we transition, is this on? As we transition from the normalcy and the randomness of a Tuesday late afternoon to the sanctity of Yom Kippur, we thank and we give a proper homage to Sean for bringing us into this mood with the sounds and the tune of Kol Nidrei, whose words we will hear in just a few moments. Hi, everyone. You have about 20 seconds left if you want your last sip of water. You have 20 seconds left to check the score of the Astros Rays game one last time before you put your phones away for the rest of the service. And I'm going to ask you all to rise as we open the Ark. I'm going to invite Rosanna Chermisky and Stella Ezros and Sandra Braun and Gabriela Litov to open the doors to the Aron HaKodesh. And as I call your name, please come forward to hold a Sefer Torah during the recitation of Kol Nidrei. I believe I have the most updated list. If there has been a change since then, you'll forgive me. I call forward Mark Samuel and Peter Kaplan and Marshall Temkin, Betty Tochner, Corey Drazen, Larry Friedman, Ben Reeder, Jennifer Lowe, Michael Stoyer, and Don Snyder. And in just a moment, Kenner Chorney will begin on page 204, right in the middle of the page. And then soon after that, we will turn to the Kol Nidrei paragraphs themselves on 205.
Shiva Shalmala, Shiva Shalmata, Halzai Tamako, Velzai Taka, Anumatirin, Lehitpalelim Havayanim, Vishiva Shalmala, Uvshiva Shalmata, Halda Tamakom, Velda Taka, Hanumatirin, Leitvaleilim Havayanim, Vishiva Shalmala, Uvishiva Shalmata, Alda Tamakom, Velda Taka, Hanumatirin Leitvalem, Imavayanim. Kol Nidrei Vesarei Vacharamei Vikonamei Vichinuyei Kippurim zeh hadiyom Kippurim hava aleinu leitova Itarat navehon, kulihon yehon sheran, shevikin, shevitin, B'teilin umvutalin la sharirin v'la
Kol Nidrei ve'esarei v'charamei ve'konamei ve'chinuyei ve'kinusei Din darna ude ishtevana ude acharimena vedi asarna al nafshatana Miyom Kippurim zeh Ahad Yom Kippurim haba Aleinu letova Kulehon icharatna vehon Kulhon yehon sharan Shevikin Shevikin Betelinu mevutalin Lasheririn velakayamin Nidrana la Nidre ve'esarana la Esarei
Shivikin, Shivitin, B'Teilin u'Mivutalin, La Sharirin, V'la Kayamin, Nidrana, La Nidre, Lehe Sarana, La Esare, Ushivu Atana, La Shivu. V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael, v'lager hagar b'tocham, hin lecholam v'ishkagar.
We say in English in the middle of 205, the entire congregation of the people Israel shall be forgiven, as well as the stranger who dwell among them, for all have erred.
V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael, v'lager hagar b'tocham, hin lecholam v'ishkagar. V'nislach lechol adat b'nei Yisrael, v'lager hagar b'tocham, hi lecholam v'ishkagar. Slach na lavon ha'am hazeh, ki godel chastecha, v'chasher nasat ha'lam hazeh, mimitzrayim v'yadheina, v'sham nehemar, vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha.
We repeat, Vayomer Adonai, salachti kidvarecha.
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 Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam,
Shehechianu, v'kiyemanu, v'higianu
Laziman
hazeh.
Yeninai, nai, 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 yeninai, nai, 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 yeninai, nai, 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 yeninai, nai, 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 yeninai, nai, 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 yeninai, nai, 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 nai,
You may be seated. And as you are seated, and as if there's anyone who's still looking for a place to sit, there might be some people in that situation. If you have a seat next to you, just raise your hand quickly. So any raised hand is near an empty seat, so we can fill them all in, including up close here, if people want that. Gejentif, everyone. Shana Tova, Asher Koach to Rabbi Chorny, and to Meyer, and to Steve for the harmonies and the accompaniments. A beautiful way to begin our first Yom Kippur in this space, or in this renewed space. So you know the one about the guy who's at Kol Nidrei services, and he hears so many people nearby him crying so guiltily during their alchates that he starts to feel jealous about all the things they did in the past year. That's the whole joke. So whisper your alchates, people might be listening. There's been a real heavy, ponderous question on my mind all year. And that is, can I squeeze one more high holiday sermon out of my gimpy shoulder? Yep. Here's a story in a nutshell, for those of you who don't know it. Very briefly, in June of 2018, Erev Shabbat, on the way back from a bike ride, had a bike failure, flew into a pole, dislocated my shoulder in a few places, had surgery, and had a tremendously slow and painful recovery. Took a long time. I was in pain that I couldn't really have fathomed beforehand, and it sent me on a year of thinking about what pain actually is. And I saw an army of doctors and Western approaches and Eastern approaches and every type of alternative therapy and acupuncture and acupressure and sensory deprivation float tanks. And here's where I stand. A year and 4 months later. I'm still in pain every day in ways that are not apparent. And I live my life as if I am not. As if. Ki'ilu in Hebrew. I am in pain, and I lift my child and play tickle-tackle with him as if I am not. Ki'ilu. I'm in pain, and being assured that there's no risk of further injury causing more pain, I throw a frisbee, and I ride my bike for miles, and I hold on to my favorite rope swings on my favorite hikes, as if I'm not in pain. Ki'ilu. If I didn't live my life as if I were not in pain, I would not live my life. Period. Or I wouldn't be living my life. And I have found within limits that by living ki'ilu, as if I am not in pain, I am actually in less pain. Ki'ilu. As if. There is some magic to it. In some ways, that's the entire sermon. So please turn to page 445. A round of applause erupts from the synagogue. It's done. It's done. Thank you. It's a contract year, so short sermons. Judaism leans deeply into what I will call Keiluism, that space that hovers between magical and diluted thinking. It's a space where memory is material, where chronology folds on itself, where the impossible is not only possible, but within your reach. The most well-known and literal dip into living and celebrating as if is not on Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur, but on Pesach. We say the words. Right after Dayenu, the Haggadah famously says, B'chol dor vador, in every generation, Chayav Adam, a person is obligated, lirot et atzmo, to see herself, ki'ilu, as if, hu yatsa mimitzrayim, she herself left Egypt. Every generation, each person has to see himself or herself as if they left Egypt. It's a preposterous reverie because you didn't leave Egypt. But you must see yourself as if you did. And if you do not engage in this backward-forward illusion, then Pesach will, have passed over you. Sorry. What's the point of the Paschal as if? There are numerous commentaries. Maimonides, the Rambam, the 12th century philosopher, scientist, legalist, and ever the rationalist, he could not abide this game. He thought of it as a deceit. You cannot see yourself as you aren't. You can't. You didn't leave Egypt, so you cannot see yourself as if you did. He had no time for metaphor, the Rambam. So he added one Hebrew letter, which changes the word lirot, to see, to leharot, to show yourself. It's not inane to pretend, it's just inane to believe your own pretending. That it's just delusion. So dress up, you would say, tell the story. Show yourself as if you left Egypt, even though we all know and you know that you didn't. Now, a lot of my Judaism is influenced and enriched by Maimonidean thinking and philosophy. And yet, if I understand what he's trying to say here, I strongly disagree. Because I think that you can see yourself as you aren't, or as you weren't, or as you aren't yet. And in seeing yourself that way, I have found that you can actually be that way. Ki'ilu. Others read the text to say that by taking the Israelites out of Egypt then, God ensured that we now would not be enslaved. And so God did take us out of Egypt. Magical thinking, borderline deluded, and also so powerful and so resonant. It's a read of the Haggadah, and it's a read of time and of history that has us living then, even though we're really living now. And it imagines them in the past, living in and for the future. And it all starts with a Ki'ilu. Ki'ilu lives in our religious space from the esoteric to the exceedingly intimate. Mircea Eliade was a 20th century Romanian scholar, spent most of his career at the University of Chicago. And his most notable and beloved and famous book is one that was mysteriously entitled The Myth of the Eternal Return. The Myth of the Eternal Return. He discusses myth as playing a central role in religious fantasy and meaning-making. It's part of religious truth. And the eternal return is a belief expressed through behavior that one is able actually to be in and to live through and to return to a mythical age. When we open the doors to the ark
on Shabbat, we are not remembering Sinai, acting it out. We are at Sinai. When we eat dinner next week in our sukkah, we are not commemorating a desert journey. We are the ones journeying, just like the Israelites, who probably had construction paper chains just like we do. And when we recite and act out the service of the high priest in the Holy of Holies, as we will do in this very spot tomorrow, we are not in a dramatic reenactment. According to this theory, we have transcended time, and we have transcended space, and we are there, and we are then, even as we are here and now. We have transcended self. We have transported self, or both. We've burst past the normal limits of utter reality. We are, in a sense, living ki'ilu. Our rituals would be so denuded, so watered down, nothing more than ceremonies at a fraternal lodge, if we did not all suspend some disbelief a little bit and live as if. Outside the religious sphere, healthy relationships, too, rely on some ki'iluism. Every engaged couple I meet with, including some in this room, have heard my spiel about bashert, that wonderful but also, I think, devious Yiddish term that gets thrown around when speaking about love and weddings. Bashert is usually taken to mean fated, as if my spouse was given to me by God. It's a Yiddishization of a Hebrew Talmudic term, zivug min hashamayim, literally a match from the heavens. The only problem with the idea is that it is ridiculous and totally false, and it can lead to outlandishly unfair expectations of the other. If you are my perfect, God-given partner, then how dare you disappoint me? And if there is tension simmering in a bashert relationship, it pushes against the definition of it, and then partners search for new elusive perfections elsewhere. I prefer the notion I learned from my Saba, the great and sorely missed Rabbi Bernard Kligfeld, who said, let's redeem bashert and use it this way. Your contract, your covenant under the chuppah, is to act towards your partner as if, ki'ilu, he or she was given to you by God. That is what he or she deserves. So if you want to use that term to animate your highest and holiest behavior in the bond, that's wonderful. Act as you would, as if your partner was given by God. As if God, God's self, had left the toilet seat up just for you. For example. And that also helps us retranslate zivug min hashamayim, the kind of relationship has a chance of being a truly heavenly bond. Ki'ilu, living into a myth, like the one that says your partner is God's gift, or the one that says that your shoulder doesn't hurt. It can help turn that myth into reality. Im tirtzu ein zo agada. If Herzl had not dreamt ki'ilu, had he been a pure realist, there'd be no Israel. If you love your beloved as if she already loves you as much as you dream, there's more potential in that bond. And if you love your children ki'ilu, they already earn that love with their every deed and every word. If you love them that way, they will be so blessed. And if we lacked the dreams of those who live out as if-ism, this room never happens. Now there's another side. Because ki'iluism, like any ism, has traps and pitfalls. Living as if can slide into settling. Settling for a personal status, even though you deserve better. Settling for a societal situation that actually needs real attention. For instance, I have the benefit, the privilege, if you will, of ki'iluing my shoulder because my life is not at stake, and because the pain I do have is manageable enough that I can as if myself around it. And I would not take or suggest that stance if one were lacking reasonable use of a limb or suffering from unreasonable and intolerable pain. I would say stuff ki'ilu and do everything possible to change the reality. Living as if can validate ignoring your own pain, and it can validate ignoring others' pain. It can pull you into lassitude, and it can pull you away from empathy. Because it's so easy and so relieving to live ki'ilu. There were no homeless, living in destitution within feet of this grand sacred abode. We would be religiously derelict to ignore that, to live as if. To live ki'ilu, as if our environment were okay, as if stewarding this one inhabitable celestial rock was not a profound mitzvah, one of which none of us performs as well as we should. To live with that ki'ilu would be terrible. To live as if we were not deforesting way too much of our oxygen-producing square footage and square mileage. To live as if plastic were not a scourge. To live as if enslavement to big oil and addiction to carbon emissions were not sullying our ecosystem in some ways forever. That's ki'iluism perverted in my mind. That's as if-ism as a sin for which we need to beat our chests and beg forgiveness. This shadow side of ki'ilu is everywhere you look. Everywhere a sentient human conveniently, unconsciously, sometimes willfully makes reality simple so as to avoid duty and hard work and conflict. Like the following caricaturized pronouncements, right? I live my Zionism, ki'ilu, there were no thorny questions or competing claims to the land of Israel, as if there were no Arabs, no Palestinians. But there are. Or I live my Judaism and I lead my synagogue as if there were not tectonic shifts happening in American Jewry that jeopardize the very notion of a viable synagogue. But there are such shifts. I parent my child. I lead my school. Ki'ilu bullying is not real or not as bad as the kid claims it to be. Some of you may have heard the absolutely tragic story out of Merino Valley a few weeks ago, a community just 60 miles east of us. Apparently 2 or 3 kids, honor roll kids, were taunting and bullying a classmate. One of the bullies sucker punched the kid, and while he was reeling, another bully walloped him from the side, and he fell to the ground, and he hit his head on a pillar, and he was 13 years old, and he died a few days later. The story is traumatic as is. What adds a level of pain and what implicates ki'iluism as a truly fatal flaw sometimes is that it had come out, that the school authorities were made aware of this bullying, made aware of these bullies, and didn't do anything, or certainly didn't do enough. And for the rest of their lives, the parents of that murdered boy will incriminate the school district for living as if the problem were not as bad as it was. People are hurt and worse all the time when as-if-ism is misemployed. But when it's employed properly and strategically and spiritually and relationally and religiously and inventively and positively, it's a potent elixir. There's a newish video that's gone viral on Vimeo. It's hard to describe in words, so mostly I want to encourage you to look up The Bench after Yontif on Vimeo. That's the name of the video, and watch it. And even if I give the punchline away now, because if I don't, then I don't have a story for this part of the sermon, the short video packs a punch. It starts with an old man, clearly blind, sitting on a park bench on a sunny day. Another man in sunglasses sits next to him. The first man asks the new man to describe the day. What does he see? What's happening in this lovely park? And the second man does it. He looks around. He describes a mother playing with her daughter on the swings, and the two lovebirds cuddling on the blanket, and on and on and on and on. And as the second man speaks, you see the first man smiling, taking in the gift of sight offered to him by the first man. It's a very emotional scene. And then the punchline. The first man, the blind man, thanks the second man. And then you see the second man, a bit later, walk away from the bench, pull out his white cane as he starts tapping along in front of him. For he too is blind. So did he dupe the first man? It's a cynical read of the gripping video. I think he was harnessing living through Ki'iluism in the most life-affirming and life-giving way, describing the world around him as if he could see it. He saw the world as he wanted to see it, as he wished he could. He conjured it, and then he invited someone to join him in it. Ki'ilu, but also very real. And doesn't every person who confronts any obstacle both need to acknowledge on the one hand the very obstacle and also navigate around it? A painful shoulder, lack of sight, an imperfect spouse, a religion whose myths and rituals challenge the intellect. And on today of all days, Yom Kippur, draped in white, many of us, like shrouds, not eating, like the non-living, the whole day is Ki'ilu. As if we were just soul, nobody. As if we really took in our mortality. Ki'ilu, our banging our chests really meant we were going to efface that sin this year, right here, right now. Is today really a death day? Not really. Not really. We are very much alive, but we have 25 hours of a Ki'ilu orientation that adds gravitas to our observance. We spend this day in sacred mythology, as if we ourselves were the Kohen Gadol, as if something cosmic and transcendent were happening in the Holy of Holies in response to our rituals, as if it all really mattered. It's a useful and generative illusion, both because we know it is partly illusion, and so we don't drown it, and we don't approach it with absolutism, and because the illusion kind of works. It hopefully ekes from us the seriousness of the day, so we are not, as Maimonides suggests, just putting on a costume and pretending. The dive into the non-reality of Yom Kippur helps make it real. Ki'ilu. If your shoulder still hurts every day when you put on a shirt, and when you bow while resting your hands on the bima as you lead davening, if you push through that moment with Ki'iluism, it hurts less, and life is more blessed. As Sharansky wrote about his magical thinking while incarcerated in the Gulag, as Viktor Frankl wrote about what sustained him through the horrors of the Shoah, we cannot escape every prison. Some bars are metal and real. Some pains destroy life. Some illnesses end life. And no amount of Ki'ilu can resolve that. And yet, this Jewish and universal wisdom helps us cope with something we cannot essentially change. But by coping with it in this way, Ki'ilu, you can actually change it enough so that you live fully as if. Now, I'd like to, but I don't know the full stories of every person who is here tonight. I don't know the status of your shoulders or the physical, emotional, relational pains you are bringing. I don't know your years, your decades of living with them and trying to overcome them. And none of us knows what this year portends. But what if at least for the next 25 hours we were devoted to imagining you, yourself, your family, your relationships, both the ones that are intact and the ones that are broken? What if you imagine what you owe your community, what you owe the world around you? What if you imagine that through the lens of Ki'ilu, with the promise of as if? I'll end with a story. It's about a monastery in Europe, a long time ago. And once it was very successful. People would visit them from around the world. Guests would come and convalesce and learn how to still their own hearts by being on the premises. It's doing very well. But over time, the monastery fell on hard times. It could barely subsist after a while. No one really knew why. And the abbot went to visit a local rabbi to commiserate and to seek counsel. How do we find our spirit and bring it back to this place? The rabbi was quiet a little bit, and then he said, I don't really have any advice. The only thing I can tell you is that the Messiah is among you in your monastery. The abbot was befuddled, doesn't know what that means. He goes back to his monks, who are similarly puzzled. Does it mean that one of us is the Messiah? If so, who? Might it be me? Might it be you? No answer. Impossible. But huge change. As the story goes, the monks started treating one another with extraordinary respect, because who knows? It might be them. Is this the Savior? Is this the Messiah? And pretty soon it became magnetic. And the monastery became famous and prosperous and known for its quality of peacefulness and love, known that way because of the power of Ki'ilu. Like the story on the bench, was it a farce? Was the new behavior inauthentic to their true selves? I don't think so. Living through Ki'ilu is not inauthenticity. It harnesses the power of the mind to be in an alternate reality, actually to be there. It has dangers, as we have named, but it's the same power, the same force that leads to imagination. And when you imagine something and you live as if, you participate in its becoming that very thing. Your bashert might not be your bashert for long if you think she already is. But if you treat her as if she were, you might be that way for one another. And on a religious level, there are plenty of people who really believe that God wrote every word of the Torah, but they don't act that way. I would rather share the world and share community with those who don't know if they believe it, but they live their lives as if they do. When I heard the story of the monastery, I thought of my college friend Alana Reese, one of the sweetest people I have ever met. In college, she once talked about how she acted towards someone new that she had met, and she said, who knows? He might be the Mashiach. And we laughed at the time. And that inside joke is more than 25 years old. But she was right. Because what if we treated one another as if the other was the Messiah? Ki'ilu. Seriously. What if instead of waiting for the world and our bodies and reality to become what we want them to be, we imagine and live Ki'ilu, they are already that way. And in that way, we can just maybe transform our world and our shoulders. Have an easy fast. I'm going to ask you to rise as we turn to page 207 as Rabbi Chorny leads us in the Baruch Hu as we begin the Mariv service.
Adonai Hamivarach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamivarach le'olam va'ed.
May be seated.
Baruch atah Adonai. Mavir yom umevi laila umavdil bein yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamidim loch aleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hamariv haravim Ahavat olam. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ve'ahabatecha al tasir mimenu le'olamim Baruch atah Adonai Haohev amo Yisrael Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Leolam Va'ed. Adonai Elohechem emet v'emunah v'zot v'kayam aleinu. Malchuto beratzon kibelu aleihem Moshe u'bnei Yisrael lechanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamiru chulam michamocha v'elim Adonai v'kamocha nidar b'kodesh nor ha'tehilat ha'aseh malechutecha ra'uvanecha v'keyam lifnei Moshe zeili anu ve'yamiru Adonai himloch le'olam eved v'ne'emar Yifata Adonai את יעקב וגלום, מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גל ישראל. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, עמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ושלום מטעמי העולם, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים. כי ביום הזה יכפר עליכם לטהר אתכם מכל חטאותיכם לפני אדוני תטהרו. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה, ילמד יפרח ירותי וימליך מלכותי, וחייכון וימיכון וחייתך בית ישראל בגלה, ובזמן מקריב וימרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם לעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמך תקודשה בריחו לעילה לעילה, מכל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה, זמירון בעלמא ויאמרו amen.
In response to emails that came before Rosh Hashanah, I sent an email to the community with a different prompt for people to respond to before Yom Kippur, and I'm going to share some of the responses that I got throughout the next 25 hours. The prompt was, if you had 10 seconds as the high priest in the Holy of Holies on Yom Kippur to utter a prayer to God, what would that prayer be? Here's some of the prayers before we say our first quiet Amidah of Yom Kippur, some of the prayers on the minds and hearts of members of this community. Unedited. I pray that we start the year with kindness. Ribono Shel Olam, Master of the Universe, I pray that you'll give me a soulmate and righteous children. May it be your will that we all feel interconnected and responsible for one another, that we are able to understand and care about another's suffering and to not see those in need as the other, but as our family, our responsibility. May you give us the courage not to turn a blind eye to needs not our own. We weave those prayers with the ones that are in our hearts as we say the quiet Amidah, beginning on page 213 in your Machzor. If you're seated, you can remain seated. If you're still completing your quiet Amidah, please do so. We're going to turn to page 223 as Kenar Chorny leads us in Ya'aleh, which traces the ascent that we hopefully will feel and offer tonight, those things that we'll bring tomorrow, and what we will achieve by tomorrow night.
Yale, yale, tachanuneinu me'erev, v'yavo sha'avateinu miboker, v'yeira erinu neinu Katenu mi boker ve'yeira epid yoneinu ad arev ve'yeira epid yoneinu ad arev.
Last 6 lines of the page.
Ya'aleh, ya'aleh, dovkeinu me'erev, ve'yavo gileinu miboker, ve'yeira bakashateinu ad arev, ve'yeira bakashateinu ad arev. Turn to the English on 223. Let's read together where it says the unfolding of the day of Piyut. May our supplications rise up at evening, our pleas arrive with the dawn, our songs transform the dusk. May our voices rise up at evening, our righteous acts arrive with the dawn, our redemption transform the dusk. May our suffering rise up at evening, our forgiveness arrive with the dawn, our purity transform the dusk. May our prayers rise up at evening, coming to you with the dawn, transforming us at dusk. Yale, yale, ekatenu me'erev, ve'yavo elecha miboker, ve'yeira eleinu ad arev, ve'yeira eleinu ad arev.
Page 225.
Hanishama הנשם הלך והגוף הלך, וסהל המלך. הנשם הלך והגוף שלך, אדוני עשה למען שמך. התנו השמך אדוני, עשה למען שמך. בעבור כבוד שמך, יהיה לך נברחום שמך. למען שמך אדוני, וסלחת לעווננו, ירחמו.
Middle of 226, please rise as we anticipate the recitation of the 13 attributes of God. The middle of 226.
תעבור על פשע ותמחי השם, כיום מתרצי ומושם. תזין שבתנו ותקשיב מנו מאמר, כי יום ויקרא בשם אדוני. ויעבור אדוני על פניו ויקרא. אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא. וסלחת לעווננו וחטאתנו וחטאנו. סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו, וחלנו מלכנו כי פשענו. כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, ורב חסד לכל קוראיך.
May be seated, page 227. About a year and a half ago, there was an article in the New Yorker focusing on Bruce Springsteen, and he spoke about, woo, I heard one woo, if this were Jersey, spoke about his parents' struggles and their parenting challenges, and how that influenced, obviously, his songwriting and even as he performed. There's a quote, "Those wounds stay with you, and you turn them into a language and a purpose." And this was taken from a concert, gesturing towards the band on stage. He said, "We are repairmen with a toolbox. If I repair a little of myself, I'll repair a little of you. That's the job." I thought of this, not that I'm such a huge Springsteen fan, but in connection with the poem that we're about to sing, Ki Hine Kachomer, on 227. You can let your eyes go over it as we're discussing it. As clay in the hand of the potter, it's a poem about vulnerability. It's a poem about fixing. And the claim of this poem is that God is the one who will iron out the creases, smooth the clay, refine the silver. It's kind of part of what we hope tonight, to feel God's sure hand on us. But that's not the major motif of Yom Kippur. The major motif of Yom Kippur is that today is the day that we step up, not waiting for God to do it for us, that we apologize, that we take responsibility for turning our lives into something beautiful. So I think that tonight we admit that we rely on God for some of what we need to accomplish, but most of the work, most of the fixing is ours. God has God's toolbox, but we are not powerless. We have the tools to repair ourselves and others. And as we craft lives of commitment, God is built up, and God's imperfect world moves a little bit closer towards perfection. We'll sing the first two and the last one stanza on 227.
Birtzoto אותו מקצר, כן אנחנו בידיך, חסד נוצר, להבריא את הבית, ועל תפן ליצר. כי הנה כאבן ביד המסתת, ברצותו אוחז וברצותו מחטט. כן אנחנו בידיך וחיי וממתת, להבריא את הבית ועל תפן ליצר. כי הנה ככסף ביד הטורף, ברצותו משגשג וברצותו מטרף. כן אנחנו בידיך, ממציא למזור טרף, להבריא את הבית ועל תפן
There, 229, please rise as we do the 13 attributes again.
הורית לנו לומר שלוש עשרה, זכור לנו היום ברית 13, כמו שהודעת לענב מקדם, כמו שכתוב וירד עיני בענן, ויתייצב עמו שם, ויקרא בשם אדוני, ויעבור אדוני על פניו, ויקרא אדוני, אדוני, אל רב ומחנן, ערך אפיים ורב חסד ואמת, נוצר חסד לעולמים, נושא עוון ופשע וחטא ונקם, וסלחתי לעווננו וחטאתנו וחטאנו, סלח לנו אבינו כי חטאנו, מחל לנו מלכנו כי פשענו, כי אתה אדוני טוב וסלח, ורב חסד לכל קורא.
Bottom of 232 as we lead into Shema Kolenu.
סלח נא לעוון המעשה כגודל חסדך, וכאשר נסעת לעם הזה ממצרים ועד הנה, ושם נאמר, ויאמר אדוני סלחתי כדבריך.
The ark is open on the top of 233. And we'll repeat each of the lines in bold after Cantor Chorney as she sings it.
Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Hus ve'irachem aleinu, aleinu, Mikampel pirachamim, mirachamim uvratzon, et tefilateinu.
Shema Kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chus v'rachem aleinu, v'kabel rachmim uvratzon et tefilateinu.
Hashivenu,
Hashivenu,
Adonai Kadesh Yameinu Kekedem Oh Kadesh 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 Yameinu Kekedem Oh Kadesh 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 Yameinu Kekedem Oh Kadesh 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 Yameinu Kekedem Tashlichaynu Lefanecha Veruach Kodshecha Al tikach mimenu
Al tashlichenu milfanecha, beruach kodshecha, al tikach mimenu.
Tashlichaynu Leheit sikna Kichlot kocheinu Al tazveinu
Al tashlichenu li'ed zikna, kichlot kocheinu, al tahazveinu.
Al tazveinu
The ark is closed, middle of 233. We are seated on 234 for Ki Anu Amecha.
Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu, Salah Aleinu, Mechol Aleinu, Kaper Aleinu, Ki Hainu Hamecha V'Ata Eloheinu, Hainu Vanecha V'Ata Avinu, Hainu Avadecha V'Ata Adoninu, Hainu Keholecha V'Ata Chekinu, Hainu Nachaltecha V'Ata Goravinu, Hainu Tzonecha V'Ata Rohinu, Hainu Charmecha V'Ata Noterinu, Hainu V'Vlatecha V'Ata Yoterinu, Hainu Rayatecha V'Ata Todinu, Hainu Sikulatecha V'Ata Kirovinu, Hainu V'Ata Makinu, Hainu Mamirecha V'Ata Mamireinu, Anu Azefanim V'Ata Rachum Echanun, Hanu Keshei Horef V'Ata Rechapayim, Hanu Melei Havon V'Ata Malei Rachamim, Hanu Yameinu Kezel Over V'Ata Ushnotecha Lo Yitamu, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu, Tavo lefanecha tefilatenu, ve'ham titalami techinatenu, shehein anachnu hazei fanim ukeshei horef, lomar lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu tzadikim anachnu ve'lo chatanu. אנחנו ואבותינו חטאנו.
Please rise.
Ay, 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 ay,
Let's pause.
ay,
As you hear that music, anticipating what's next, the first time we're going to sing it out loud, I want to introduce one somewhat counterintuitive thought. The great Rav Kook, who was the first chief rabbi, Ashkenazi chief rabbi of pre-state Palestine, thought that just as there's great benefit in repairing the soul, which we've spoken about already tonight with the confession of sins, there's great benefit from confession, recitation, vidui, of mitzvot, of our good stuff, the things we did do. So your heart can rejoice in them, his words, and that it, the rejoicing itself, can strengthen your commitment to the path of righteousness. So we're going to do a lot of this over the next 24 hours. But he also invites us, even especially on Yom Kippur, to remember that thrill when you recall, or someone recalls to you, something that you've done that was just, that was good, that was beautiful, that was the right thing. Because that feeling builds, and why not mention it? There's several versions of an alternate confessional built on Rav Kook's idea. It's called the Vidui HaMashlim, which has too many puns in Hebrew to bring out in English, but something like the confessional which is perfect, the confessional which is complete, the confessional which actually brings peace as opposed to ripping you open. Also in an acrostic, Ahavnu, we loved. Bachinu, we cried. Gamalnu, we made even, or we repaid, or we did good to. Dibarnu yofi, we spoke beautifully. He'emanu, we believed. Hishtadalnu, we tried. Zacharnu, we remembered. Chibaknu, we hugged. Ta'amnu sefer, we tasted study. We tasted a book. Yatzarnu, we created. Kamahanu, we longed. Lachamnu avar hatzedek, we fought for the righteous. Matzinu et hatov, we found the good. Nisinu, we experimented. Sarnu lirot, we averted our eyes when appropriate. Asinu asher tzivitanu, we did as we were commanded. Peirashnu, my friends and I had a long debate about this on Facebook, what it meant. We interpreted, we sought out different possibilities. We saw multiple truths. We discerned. Tzadaknu lefamim, we were right sometimes. Karanu b'shimcha, we called out your name. Ratzinu, we desired the good. Samachnu, we rejoiced. Tamachnu, we supported. We should strive to say that one next year and really be able to mean it. According to our Gabbai, we should put it in the book. So it shall be written, and so it shall be done. Karen Cass. I lost my page. Page 235.
Ay, 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 Tafanu sheker, ay, 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 Yatzura, keys of new, lights new, my right new, knee heights new, Sarah new, Avi new, Pashai new, Sarah new, Kishi new, Oref, ay, 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 Rosh new, Shechai new, Tiav new, Tai new, Tita new, Sar new, mimitzvotecha, וממשפטיך הטובים, ולא שבה לנו, ואת הצדיק על כל הבעלינו, כי אמת עשית ואנחנו הרשענו.
Bottom of 236.
אתה יודע רזי עולם, ותעלומות סתרי כל חי. אתה חופץ כל חדרי בתיין, וכן כליות ולב. אין דבר נעלה ממך, ואין נסתר מנגד עיניך. וכן יהי רצון מלפניך. אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו, שתסלח לנו על כל חטאותינו, ותמחה לנו על כל עוונותינו, ותכפר לנו על כל פשעינו.
I share a version of this before the first Al-Chait every year because it helps me remind myself how I want to handle it. The first vidui we just sang is very vague in the description of things we may have done wrong. This list may not specifically be about our lives, but the sins are specific. And the first time I say this list every Yom Kippur, this has been my tradition for 15 or 20 years. In the quiet Amidah that we did, I say every word and I don't pause to think about them, whether in Hebrew or in English. I utter the liturgy. I fulfill my duty. And every subsequent recitation of the Al-Chait, starting from now until Ne'ilah, for each of the three sections, this is what I do, I'm not suggesting you have to, but I encourage you to try it. I start reading it, and I get the meaning in the Hebrew or the English, and I stop when one hits me, when it hurts to read. When it hurts because it's a new transgression or sin. When it hurts when it's an old one. And I don't move off of that one until the chazan starts singing again. So that it does some work. And I'm not just surfing over the surface. So handle it as you wish. But if you allow even one of these 3 or 2-word phrases to penetrate your soul, it might have been a productive Yom Kippur. 237.
שחטאנו לפניך ראה יצר הרע, ועל חטא שחטאנו לפניך יודעים ולא יודעים, והלכולם אלוה סליחות, סלח עלינו, מחלנו, כפר שחטאנו לפניך בעיניים רעות, והחטא שחטאנו לפניך בעזות מצח, לכולם אלוה סליחות, סלח עלינו, מחלנו, כפר לנו. החטא שחטאנו לפניך בתשומת יד, והחטא שחטאנו לפניך בתימהון לבב, ועל כולם אלוה סליחות, סלח לנו, מחלנו,
Please remain standing as the ark is open for Avinu Malkeinu, page 243.
Avinu Malkeinu, חטאנו לפניך, אבינו מלכנו. אבינו מלכנו החזירנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך.
אבינו מלכנו החזירנו בתשובה שלמה לפניך.
אבינו מלכנו שלח רפואה שלמה לחולי עמך.
אבינו מלכנו שלח רפואה שלמה לחולי עמך.
אבינו מלכנו זוכרנו בזיכרון טוב לפניך.
אבינו מלכנו זוכרנו בזיכרון טוב לפניך.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר חיים טובים.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר חיים טובים.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר גאולה וישועה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר גאולה וישועה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר פרנסה וכלכלה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר זכויות.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר
אבינו
זכויות.
מלכנו כותבנו בספר סליחה ומחילה.
אבינו מלכנו כותבנו בספר סליחה ומחילה. מלכנו הצמח לנו יושב אבינו מלכנו.
אבינו מלכנו, עשה למען באי והי שמיים, על קידוש שמך. אבינו מלכנו, עשה למענך, אם לא למעננו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, יהן בנו מעשים. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu. Choneinu v'aleinu. Choneinu Avinu Malkeinu. Choneinu v'aleinu. Ein banu ma'asim. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu. Choneinu v'aleinu. Avinu Malkeinu. Choneinu v'aleinu. Ki ein banu ma'asim. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed. Aseimanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu.
The ark is closed. Kaddish Shalem, page 245.
Yitzkatal v'yitzkatal shemei rabah v'yamadi v'ra kirutei v'yamli malchutei v'chayichon u'v'yomeichon u'chayetecho beit Yisrael v'hakala u'v'zman karim v'imeru amen yehi shemei rabah mevarach le'alam u'lamei amaya yitparach v'yishabach v'yitbar v'yitromal v'yitnasi v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei tekudesh haberichu le'ela mikol pirchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damira be'ama v'imeru amen titkapa tzlot ehon u'ahun dechor Yisrael kazam avuhon divishmaya v'imeru amen yehesh lama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imeru amen hasi shalom bimromav hasi shalom aleinu ve'akol Yisrael v'imeru amen.
Please turn to Aleinu, page 246. Please rise.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol hateinu ha'yotzei bereshit shelom levi haratzot B'toratecha Adonai melech le'olam va'ed. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz. V'yom hahu yihye Adonai echad u'shmo echad. Einod, 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 Einod.
May be seated. I don't want to take any seconds away from the words that are coming with an introduction that he's due, but I will just say that I think it's impossible to care for and invest in and believe in and work for the benefit of the Temple Beth Am community more and more valiantly and more selflessly than Avi Peretz, our current Temple Beth Am president, does. He's our leader, he's my friend, and he has some words for us tonight. Avi Peretz.
I'll come to you, don't you worry. Okay, I'll get over there. Well, first of all, timing is everything, and obviously the timing wasn't perfect this time, because I was downstairs, then come back upstairs. But what's really interesting is it seems that I wrote these words like a day or two ago. I show up here, and between a number of things happening, half of what I've said, it seems, doesn't make sense anymore. And half of what I said needs to be expanded upon. So folks, maybe you better settle in, because I don't know how long this is going to be. The intention, that's a gift rather than a warning, okay? The intention is for me to give kind of a presidential State of the Synagogue speech, and I think you'll probably be able to tell when I start embellishing. Last year on Kol Nidrei, I promised that with the help of God and each of you, we would be celebrating 5780 in a new sanctuary. Some of you had your doubts, and I can't say I blame you. My predecessor, Susan Hitzroni, promised to start construction, and she made sure that that happened. My job was to make sure that it was finished, and with the help of an extraordinary team of talented people to whom we owe a great debt of gratitude, here we are in this magnificent new space. Thank you to the Gansbergs, Steve and Ann. We couldn't be more proud than to have our sacred space be known as the Gansberg Sanctuary in honor of your parents, George and Anna. For those of you that were here at the dedication 6 weeks ago, it was one of the highlights of TBA history. We still have a few tweaks to make, although the air conditioning is feeling really, really good. You may not agree, Steve. Okay. But be patient. We're here, and the fact is we've taken a huge leap into the future with this magnificent space. Come often, not necessarily just on high holidays, but come often. Find the seat that works really for you, experiment out, take advantage of it because the space is here for you. In the past year, we've rounded out our team of clergy. We're now blessed with 4 amazing rabbis, each with multiple skills to help us in any way we need. So I can feel that I'm going to go off script here in just a second, and you'll see how. We are so fortunate to be led by Rabbi Kligfeld. Not only do I love him personally, but he is one of the leading lights of 21st century conservative Judaism. Last year at this time, he was still reeling from his bike accident, but thankfully, he's almost fully healed. Well, then I listened to his sermon, and by the way, And by the way, I listened to his sermon in Adelson through the live streaming because one of the things that Rabbi Kligfeld is adamant about is he does not like people walking in and out during his sermon. That'll get him more hopped up than a Yankees loss. So there I am sitting out there, and he's talking about his shoulder, and all I could think about is this man that I'm so close to and that I love so dearly. I don't think I've really asked you how your shoulder is doing in 6 months, so I'm going to start asking. I guarantee it. All right, Rabbi Chorny. She's also our cantor, but don't be fooled into thinking that's all she does. She is a magnificent rabbi serving this entire community in more ways that can be described. She likes being called Cantor Chorny, but I look at her as our rabbi. Last year at this time, we had an interim rabbi, Matt Shapiro, who established himself as a beloved member of our team. He was so impressive that he's now the head of youth learning and engagement, but he's also a full-service rabbi here for all of us. We've rounded out our clergy team with Rabbi Rebecca Schatz. She's been on the job now for about 100 days. For years, she and her family have been around TBA as well as around the greater LA Jewish community. I don't really think of Rabbi Schatz as new, but rather someone that has just come home to where she belongs, and she's already making a wonderful impact. We're very fortunate to have such an all-star team. I want to spend a moment talking about the lay leadership of this shul. Lay leadership is a key to every synagogue's success, and I dare anyone to find a better group of community leaders than we have. Our board of directors consists of some of the most amazing young leaders you can imagine. I'm only 67. I think of myself as only 67, but I'm like one of the oldest people, and there may be a couple on the board that are older than me, but everyone else is younger. Of all of my VPs, there's about 10 or 12 of them, all of them in their 40s and 50s with, thank God, a couple that are in their early 60s. These leaders infuse me with energy. Better yet, they're infusing TBA, Pressman Academy, and YLE with energy and passion. Thank you to all of them. I see some of them here. Thank you to all of you for providing such leadership, for giving your time, expertise, and passion to our wonderful institution. I know that so many of you have young families, businesses, professions. You've got so much going on, but what's the old story? If you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. Well, these people are really doing it. Our future is bright indeed because we continue to successfully transfer leadership to the up-and-coming generations. We'll come talk to you guys, okay? I haven't talked to you guys in a while. Last year, I promised that the gym would be done by the start of the school year. Didn't quite make it. We only missed by about 1 month, not too bad. However, it's now open for business. We just got our TCO, our temporary certificate of occupancy in the past week, so we're ready to go. We're having services, and it's kind of cool that the first event that happens in the gym are high holiday services. It's also the first time in 20 years or so that we have not been using the Ionic Hall for services. And I don't know how the Ionic is going to survive without our 2.5 days of rentals, but it's great having everyone here under one proverbial roof. It's marvelous. If you haven't gone to the gym yet, check it out sometime tomorrow. It really is magnificent, and it's ready for our kids. And by kids, I mean kids of all ages. We will have all types of sporting events. Obviously, the younger kids will be in there all the time, but we're already planning all kinds of sporting events, even just pre-Shabbat Friday afternoon adult pickup basketball games. So there'll be more. Keep your eyes open, and we plan on making that gym one of the most extraordinarily used parts of this synagogue. At the entrance to the gym, you'll notice an area that has been set aside, and that has been named for, our Emeritus Rabbi Joe Rembam and his wife Freddie. It's called Rembrandt Plaza. It's right where the pavers are. You may recall the pavers. We offered them about a year and a half ago at the gala. We may get another opportunity, but there are about 100 of them that are out there. They're set up. They look great. The signage will be up. We just finished ordering the signage a week or two ago, so the signage will be up in maybe a month or so. That's the way things kind of work in this business. So be on the lookout for that. It's really wonderful that we get to honor Joel and Freddie Rembrandt in this way. And just west of this building and south of the gym is the Ziering family field. One of my proudest moments as president last year on Kol Nidrei was when I had the honor to announce the naming of the field after a truly extraordinary family. Thank you again to the entire Ziering family for providing for us this space that is one of the most versatile spaces in our entire place. There is so much going on that field. It's crazy. The kids are playing there every single day. We've had kiddishes there. We've had onegs there. We've had galas there. The field is so versatile that even while we're having kiddishes and onegs, the kids are playing on another part of the field. It's great. You can see the parents so pleased that they get to enjoy a kiddish or a service or something while their kids are back there playing, everyone kind of in the same place. It's really wonderful. And by the way, Marilyn, we also had our middle school graduation there on the field as well. Thank you. Last year, you'll recall we had Kol Nidrei and Ne'ilah on the Ziering family field. We decided this year to see what it would be like to do it in here, but I can certainly see another Kol Nidrei in our future at some point, perhaps, on the Ziering family field. The signage for the Ziering family field was also just ordered and should be up in a few short weeks. So we're almost done with this phase of the construction, and we've survived the construction experience quite well, all things considered. We definitely don't want to make a habit of this, but there are still some open items, some of which will be done sooner, some later, and some much later. We hope to one day open up the back of the ballroom so that it will access directly out onto Ziering family field. You can see if you turn around and just look there, make a perfect opening so that when I give my speech again, which since this is the last one I'm giving, it won't happen, but I would be able to see right onto the field. It'd be fantastic as far as just integrating the field with the ballroom, with the sanctuary. People ask me, what about the balcony? Some people think it's gone, but it's right back there. It's still there. It didn't go anywhere. The only trouble is there's a wall there now, okay, so that creates a little bit of a problem, but there are 400 seats up there, room for a stage. It can be the perfect auditorium for our school. With 400 seats, it would fit everyone in the school and all the faculty. It'd be perfect to have the middle school musical up there. It could even be used by the synagogue for speaker series and films. We have a film series that we do. It'd be great to have it. I'm not sure if we'd fill it with 400 people, but we would have a huge screen up there and set it up, and all of a sudden this could become a place where we could do concerts. We could do all kinds of interesting things up in that space. And for those of you, we could even live stream these services up there. So for those of you that miss the balcony so much, you could have the balcony back during the high holidays and just watch the services. I guarantee you the images of the people on a big screen will be bigger than what you saw beforehand, and the sound will be a lot better too. As you may have noticed, we've already started the live streaming of services in Adelson Hall, and I guess it's worked perfectly. All I know is I went in there during Rosh Hashanah just to check it out because I'm kind of a thorough person. I don't want to miss anything. I want to make sure that it's all working. I'm trying to channel my inner Cheryl Goldman. And so I went there, and it was great, but there was a mother and a father with a baby. The baby couldn't have been older than 6 months, and the baby was doing what babies do, And 7 months, okay. See, there's 7 weeks. I'm glad we've got that clarified. Aren't you all glad? And I'll tell you, the father talked to me, and he said that it was just wonderful that he could be at services and take care of his kid at the same time. And I realized, wow, that really is a gift. I want to thank Rabbi Kligfeld for being open enough to allow that and to allow us to make it happen and to experiment with it. I'm not sure, I mean, this whole feeling of openness that Rabbi Kligfeld evinces, I'm not sure if it'll go as far as allowing us to live stream the Dodger game tomorrow night during Ne'ilah, okay? I'm not sure, although I do know that if it was Dodgers-Yankees, it'd be a tougher choice. So I also want you to know that, like I said, Rabbi Kligfeld does not like people walking in and out of his services, so the live stream place is the perfect place if you don't get here fast enough or soon enough so that you don't have to interrupt his sermon. Well, that happened today to 2 people I know. One of them was me. I didn't get here back fast enough, and man, I don't want to get on Rabbi Kligfeld's bad side. So I decided I'm going to go into Adelson, and I'll watch the live streaming. And then in walked Michael Ziering. He also didn't want to get on the bad side of Rabbi Kligfeld. So we both sat there with about 60 or 70 other people and watched the sermon, and it really did work perfectly. There are also people that can't be here, either for reasons of illness or they can't get to the synagogue, they're out of town, or whatever might be happening, and they get to use that live streaming as well. And I've already gotten some feedback on that, and that's really been excellent as well. And while we hope that those people will be here back with us as soon as possible, in the meantime, and particularly to David and Larry, enjoy the live streaming. I want to talk a little bit about the status of the middle school, a question I am often asked. Yes, we were stymied by powers outside of our control, but have we given up on the idea? Of course not. We will do everything we can to make it happen, so stay tuned. Pressman Academy is led by another one of our extraordinary young leaders, Erica Rothblum. She is a force to be reckoned with. She will not rest until she has her new middle school. With her at the helm, our kids deserve to have the middle school that she and her extraordinary team have envisioned. Together with Mark Samuel, whose leadership of the building committee has been beyond extraordinary, if there's a way to make it happen, we'll figure it out. Last year at this time, I announced our TBA trip to Morocco. The reaction was spectacular, sold out just like that. It was led by Rabbi Kligfeld, who kind of enjoys international travel, I've figured out. Not only did we have an extraordinary time in Morocco, where my father was born and raised, but we all bonded so beautifully together. That may have been the highlight, that every time any of us sees each other in shul, any of the 40 of us, we kind of give ourselves a knowing smile that really reflects the camaraderie and shared experience of that amazing trip. We've got another trip planned for this coming spring to the American South, focusing on our Jewish heritage and on the civil rights movement. Keep an eye out, don't miss out if you're interested. It's a lot easier flying to the south than it is to, I think we flew into Rabat, right? Than flying to Rabat, Morocco. But anyway, for 2021, 18 months from now, we're thinking of taking our road show overseas to the Balkans in Southeast Europe. Not to be confused with the Baltics, which are in Northeast Europe. Here's the question to ponder during Yom Kippur when you have no access to your cell phones to get the answer. There are 12 countries that make up the Balkans. How many of them can you name? Regardless, the Balkans have an amazing Jewish history that most Jews are not familiar with. It's only 18 months away, so start thinking about it. Last year on Kol Nidrei, I announced that TBA would have a delegation at the APAC Policy Conference in Washington, D.C., led by Rabbi Kligfeld, who would be attending his first policy conference. We had a marvelous group of about 40 from TBA. If it was diversity of thought you were looking for, all you had to do was check out our delegation. We had people on the political left, people on the political right, people down the center, and people who really didn't care all that much about politics one way or another. We were all motivated by our love for our other homeland, Israel, and for our fellow TBAers, and we had a great time. We argued politics from every possible angle, but it was amazing how civilized it all was, as we all understood that we were gathering under the umbrella of Ahavat Yisrael. This is how civilized disagreement is supposed to happen. The last night, we all gathered in the lobby of the Marriott. Most of our TBAers stopped by. We had some of our high school and college kids stop by, and it was all about hanging out with our greater family. It was really quite the love fest. Thank you, Devorah, for pushing to make that happen. That was really a highlight of that trip. We'll be doing it again this coming March. Rabbi Kligfeld will be leading it again. We'd love to expand our numbers, but it's really just a great experience. It's a serious and joyful experience all at the same time. And with this coming year being a presidential election year, we should get an interesting array of speakers as well. So how do we do all this? Well, you all know the answer. It's you and only you. Last year, I made a longish appeal highlighting the Jeremiah Society as a real solid opportunity for your parnassah, and you responded beautifully. Thank you. Don't worry, this is not going to be a longish appeal. This is a mini appeal, so you can keep breathing. So you guys know the drill. Close your eyes, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, it's enough of that. We'll leave the meditating to Rabbi Kligfeld. But we need you, and there are a lot of great opportunities. I was noticing, I even brought this up here, Cheryl pointed this out to me, that everything you need is in these bulletins. Now, every week I always give an announcement that says you can take the bulletins home, but you're going to be here all day tomorrow, so you can take a look at it. Jeremiah Society, it lists everyone that's a part of it. Lots of room to expand some of the higher groups. We did that last year, and as I recall, there was one person who shouted out from the crowd that they wanted to go up to the next level. Wanda, you don't have to do that again this year. That's okay. There are the Parsha panels, these magnificent Parsha panels. Take a look at them, go up to them, study them, see if you can figure out what they mean. We'll be publishing a book that kind of gives the architect and the rabbi's view of what some of them mean, but you can also come up with your own meanings. We've had lots of people sponsor them, whether it's their own bar mitzvahs, their kids' bar mitzvahs, their special events, pretty much anything. The library minion put their shekels together and sponsored one of the Parsha panels, as did the Adult B'nai Mitzvah class from several years ago. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you're setting up your estate plan, or does it need to be looked at again, think of TBA, even though hopefully it'll be a long, long time before any estate plan gift materializes. We have a strong endowment fund, so there are lots of ways that you can help out. So please be open to that. This is really our call for action on your parts, and only you can do it. Look for the opportunities, take the plunge. If you're not a member of TBA, please talk to either myself or the rabbis. We'd love to talk to you about having you become members, tell you more about it. If you know of kids that need to have their education enhanced, there's no better place than Pressman Academy and the YLE. Be proactive, help build this community the way it really needs to be built, just as a family. Sometimes we may disappoint you, and it's perhaps even theoretically possible that sometimes you may disappoint us. But that comes with being a family and a community. But that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're expanding. That's how we keep ourselves healthy and strong. Well, that's my pitch. That was the whole thing, much shorter than last year. I'm going to close with exactly what I said last year. I could not be more proud or humble to be standing in front of all of you at this particular moment in time in our institution's history. What an honor. Thank you for allowing me to do so. Gmar Chatima Tova.
Yasher Koach, Avi. We're going to conclude our services with Psalm 27 on 248, and then the Mourner's Kaddish, and then Yigdal, page 248. LeDavid Adonai Rishivana.
LeDavid Adonai Rishivana. Lulei himanti lira b'tshuva Adonai v'eretz chaim, kaveh el Adonai, chazaf yemetz libecha, v'kaveh el Adonai.
Mourner's Kaddish, page 247. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala v'zman kari v'imru Amen.
Amen.
Yehi shemei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ne'omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata ta'miran be'alma v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba amin shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom v'ramav. Huyaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. We conclude with Yigdal on page 250, and then Kiddush will be in the lobby.
Yigdal Elohim chai v'yishabach, dimsa v'heineit el mitziuto, echad v'yachid yehichudo, na'elam v'kamin tov le'achduto, ein lo demut haguf v'yeino guf, lo naroch elav kedushato, kadmon lechol davar asher nivra, rishon ve'ein reshit le'reshito, hino adon olam v'chol notzar, yorei gedulato u'malchuto, shefa nevuato nitano el anshe segulato ve'tifarto, lo kam be'Yisrael k'Moshe od, navi u'mavit et emunato, Torah temet natan li'amo el aliyad nevi'o ne'emar nebeito, lo yachalif ha'el ve'lo yamir dato, le'olamim le'zulato, sofi ve'yodea sitareinu mavi lesof davar be'kai b'mato, gomer le'ish chesed imifalo, notein le'rashara kirishato, yishlach leketz yamin meshicheinu liftot mechakeket Yeshuato, meitim yechayel berov chasdo, baruch atei had shem teilato, meitim yechayel berov
Baruch Hadehan, Shem Tehilato. Tzom Kal, have an easy fast. Come by and say, Good Yontif. I have nowhere else to go, so come over and say hello. I'm about to be yelled at?
No,
Oh,
no, no.
oh, oh. I thought you were about to yell at me.
I was just laughing because my geometry skills had never been better. Oh, right. So as a result of this coaching work, I don't know if we met before. How are you? Gabriel. Hey, how are you? Monica. Hey, how are you? Gabriel works at Film Track. We used to work together.
I'm sure you've heard of Film Track.
But,
I have heard of Film Track.
But
Better or worse.
we were just discussing the Balkans dates, which because of
I can't
the
make
work
it.
that we do. No, you can't. Albania. We were almost
Oh,
there this summer. We were practically there. We were in spitting distance. And my daughter
We
looked.
almost went to war with Albania.
I would think about it.
That's
We might be going to war with Albania again.
That's right. That's right.
Because my joke is Donald Trump keeps studying Wag the Dog
Yeah,
like it's
yeah.
a how-to video.
Yeah, so I just thought that was
Yeah, between the two of us, like we were.
Yeah,
like,
don't
we
get
could
us
just see
any geography trivia.
Montenegro, Macedonia.
Macedonia is now technically called Greece complained and they signed an agreement to call it Northern Macedonia to separate it from the historical Macedonia.
There you go.
All right.
Yes. Very careful.
That